Let's play Amnesia: The Dark Descent. We got well over halfway through in our first session yesterday, and I'm fairly confident that we should be able to finish it up today. So let's roll through it and get it done. Hey, Nyron. Good to see you, my friend. Glad you're here, as always. We will simply hit continue. Hey, Martin, great to see you. So, as you recall, we left off when I arrived at the Sister after finally escaping the northern block of the prison.
So you used the drain sewers as a means of transport?
Yes, they were built to divert water from an underground spring and are quite spacious. It seemed only natural to incorporate it into the overall structure.
But we won't be using it.
Not today. The flow is seasonal, and when the spring runs dry, the damp tunnels produce a rather poisonous type of fungi. There is an antidote, of course, but we won't be bothering with it today. Come, this way instead. We're almost there.
Interesting. Ran out of time. I'm never too hammered to play games. Come on. There's no such thing. Well, there probably is such a thing, but not that I have actually experienced. So the lever is stuck. Its gears need to be greased. It won't budge. Oil drainage. A vessel is needed to carry the oil. Picked up glass jar of oil. The water is too deep to traverse safely. To enter the sewer, it must first be drained. Video game sewer level, always there. I think we can actually break the pipe. There we go. Hi Maya, hi Infinimora, hi Sauna. Great to see all of you. Repair the machine powering the eastern bridge. Hi, Lone Wonder. Great to see you, as always. And this one leads to the cistern. So we're gonna go first. Alexander knew there must be a way to finish the ritual before it was too late. He had to teach his friend to harvest the vitae, that much was certain. Alrighty. There will be a stream tomorrow. I'll be on the altered schedule this coming week, so there will be a stream tomorrow morning, Wednesday morning, and Thursday morning.
You're conserving water from the spring.
Yes, it enables me to control the water in the drain sewers to some extent. Also, it can be used for all sorts of purposes.
Like for drinking.
Well, that too. But mostly to run different machines.
Ah, like water mills.
Exactly.
Can be pretty certain we got water monsters to deal with here. Let's be fast. Huh, maybe not. Interesting. Oh, we got a tinderbox. Yay. Yay. First person platforming. Oh, there it is. Redirect sewer water.
7th of August, 1839. There is no denying that Alexander puts a lot of faith into what I can only describe as magic. I'm not surprised. Even while traveling across Europe, I assumed I would have to embrace the supernatural to save my mind and life. As a novice, I do everything in my power to stay focused and not dwell too much on my own doubts. Alexander woke me up early and told me it was time we got started on our work. He was obviously excited to get going, and we headed downstairs to the old dungeon, where he preferred to attempt his rituals. It turns out that Alexander is a true Renaissance man, paralleled only by Da Vinci, I'm sure. He showed me several rooms fitted for specific research, such as anatomy studies, alchemy, and botany. The crown of Brennenburg must be the inner sanctum, a most hallowed ground where we shall attempt to permanently banish the orb's shadow.
All right. There are valves in the cistern to redirect water from the sewer. Okay. find a tinderbox. Water has begun to slowly fill the chamber. Yes, I will play Soma as well. Wow. I was barely in the water at all. It got to me really fucking fast, didn't it? Alright, still all good. It's attached to a rusty chain in the ceiling. A bridge must be lowered to proceed. Oh. Conveniently, there are rocks. Right here. There we go. I hate first-person platforming. Aye.
August 1839. I could never be certain until today that I was on the right path. Using my orb, Alexander managed to channel its power unto us. The inner sanctum flared with blue, fiery light, and I could feel the same things I felt in the dark chamber in Algeria. It was like standing in a mad whirlpool of impressions. It was terrifying. But Alexander kept calm and wielded strange tools of science in order to tame the storm. Suddenly, the blue light was stained by strains of red, and the walls burst with pulsating tissue resonating with the scene. Alexander quickly covered the orb in some cloth, and the unspeakable thing vanished. Apparently, the orb's shadow is closer than Alexander thought. He said I should prepare for a warding ritual tomorrow. I'm not sure what he expects, but I have a bad feeling about this.
Alrighty. Goody. think that shuts off the steam, which is good. Yay.
August 1839. It is still early, and Alexander is busy preparing for the ritual later today. Seeing him this worked up makes me question why. What does he stand to gain? I realize he is curious about it all, but surely there must be more. Is he so foolish he will attempt to tame the power of the orb? I must admit that yesterday, when Alexander flooded the inner sanctum with blue light, I realized we had but graced the orb's true potential. This might turn out to be more than escaping a creeping shadow. It might be the beginning of something truly extraordinary.
Hooray. Achievement unlocked. Pipe worker. Crystal clear. All is good. All right. We go. The red taint burst from the walls as if they had begun to bleed. He cried out in fear as the spectacle began to consume the blue shimmer. Alright, we'll head to the control room now. The purpose of the inner sanctum had always been to study the orbs and find a way to force them to yield their power. However, he was still unaware of this.
Did we find this place?
An old friend back in Algiers gave me a map.
Why isn't he with us? Didn't he want to come?
He wanted to, Daniel, but things don't always turn out the way we planned.
Three doors. Heavy gate. I remember this. Perfect. you just have to match the one room to the other one. I think this is another matching sort of shindig. Yeah. That one goes there. This one goes here. Right. I think. Oil. Machine, January 13th, 1799. The work I have put into this machine is unequaled by the reasoning of any man. The thought that generations of men have passed away since I first attempted to reconstruct the design is most tiring. The limitations of this world have made my work incredibly difficult. It has forced me to build the thing almost 100 times larger than the delicate contraption it tries to emulate. Not to mention the flow of tamed lightning crudely replaced by pressured steam, pushing its way through pipes and turbines. It shames me to think of what the inventor would have thought of my monster, where he works with a magnifying glass to carefully fix all the parts. I push 5 men to erect a tower of wrought iron in the hope it will have even the tiniest hint of the power found in a traveler's locket. Another pipe. It's obviously not matching. Picked up wooden crank. like that was right.
Daniel, is that you? What are you doing?
I feel like these could very easily be wrong. But I don't know. Let's go see if the thing is working now. The beautiful wild orchid seemed a testament to nature's strength, being able to grow inside Brennenburg. Alas, it was Alexander's studies and care which enabled the flower to blossom. Nope. Not done yet. The blue light blinded him as it had done inside that murky tomb in Algeria. It was just as enchanting, and he tried to approach it, but the Baron's firm hand held him back. Am I missing another pipe? Is that the problem? It's stuck in its position. I'm pretty sure we solved this one correctly. Is the machine turned on? Yep, it's stuck in its position. Oh, yeah. These are done too, so it must just be the pipes. Okay, I can't match them exactly, but I must have to cover all the same holes, right? If that's even possible. It is. There we go. There we go. Waited for his eyes to adjust to the darkness, but no shape or contour appeared. There we go. Bridge is stuck and will need a push to dislodge. Morgue? Oh, great. Yeah, I think I can finish this today. I think there's only one hub area left after this one. If memory serves.
Do you see, Daniel? It has yielded.
What?
The shadow.
It has?
For now. Come, let's get this out of here so we can get some peace.
Yes, let's. Where to?
Just down the corridor to the morgue.
Are there more dead men there?
You did well, Daniel. Come, let's get going.
It isn't a long game, if I remember right, but I may be remembering wrong. Oh, goody.
What happened? Why are all these dead? Where am I? What's happening? Help! Anybody! Help!
The tinderbox.
3 days. Ridiculous. Why doesn't someone get to this room? Hey! Anybody! Am I all alone here? Help! Help! I'm so tired. If I sleep, will I wake from this nightmare? If not, I pray my Heavenly Father will take me in my sleep.
Laudanum and a copper tube. The fine copper tube found in the morgue looks like a part of a surgical tool. Okay.
I hear you breathing, Daniel. Do you hear me? Have you changed your mind?
Dead body. The body is still stiff from rigor mortis, and it can't be older than a day. A corpse in the morgue is only a day old. Excuse me. A tinderbox, a document. Plague outbreak. The strange deaths among the servants and the prisoners have finally been resolved. It seems that the drain sewer, which has recently been opened up for use as a means of transport, is plagued by a peculiar poisonous fungi. The victims seem to have suffered an extremely quick outbreak of sickness affecting the entire body. Some of my men, including myself, are blissfully spared by this calamity, but it is clear that this cripples my progress. The prisoners die quickly, and their contaminated vitae lacks the energy I seek. I shall immediately start working on a vaccine. Laudanum, tinderbox, another note. Vaccine trials. The vaccine enabling my men to work in the fungi-ridden sewer is a definite success. Unfortunately, only a few of the servants have been remedied as the procedure proved difficult. The others will perish, and eventually I will have to create more of them to keep my experiments running. Note that an injection of vaccinated blood will work as a shield long enough to pass the sewers without any risk of infection. It will do fine for prisoner transport. I fear for Daniel, for he is reckless. He is tainted by the approaching shadow and will not be able to pass the gate. Will he be able to accept this in the end? My love, I've seen evil in him. How am I to trust him with the truth? What cruel irony that I have to do unto him what Agrippa did unto me. Oh, goody. Goody. So I guess we need to get blood, right? Syringe, a copper tube with an attached hollow needle. It cannot penetrate the skull. Oh boy. Lovely. The hand drill broke and is of no further use. Goody. Monster leave. Come on. Will I replay this with the hard mode coming out on the 28th? There's a hard mode coming out on the 28th? I don't hear it anymore. Assume that means it's gone. Good. Back to the cistern. Oh. That's interesting. Time to actually enter the sewer. The water should be gone, and we're vaccinated against the poison, so... Into the sewer. Henry Bedloe went to class carrying the anger of his bitter mother. He never cried, he made others cry instead. Pain is like that. You either become sad or you become angry. Henry always chose the latter. Wow. Yeah, hard mode sounds fun. We might replay this. If everyone's interested, which I certainly am. Actual consequences for losing sanity. Hard mode sounds like we probably need to stay sober. I don't know, it sounds like it might actually be hard. Gotta give that monster time to leave. I think it's gone.
What's happening? What are you doing? Let me go! Please, don't take me! Nobody ever returns!
Pipe seems to be loose. One pipe is loose and leaking water. Picked up pipe. Oh, goody. filled lantern with a few drops of oil. The two levers control the noisy machine. Sounds good, I think. Yay, monster! It's gone. Thing, well, it looks like it's moving slower. Noise. Yay.
Daniel, turn around this instant. You are carrying the shadow with you.
The barred gate was torn down by that creature. We'll give him a couple minutes. Somebody go! That dude sounds like a wheelchair. Alright, made it. There's never any escape. Things like this live with you always. How could he know if Henry would show up down the road or even at his house? Is he that mad? Would he do that? Everything looks good. Always good to be out of the sewers. Another tinderbox. Tinderbox. And note.
9th of August, 1839. I can't stop sweating and shaking. The warding ritual was not something of a sane mind. I did not even realize the dungeon was still in use. Alexander had his servants bring one of the prisoners, a murderer, he told me. Alexander made all the arrangements, but he said I had to perform the ritual in order to have the right effect. The shadow could be led astray by the blood of another. Killing the man would provide us precious time. What else could I do? Alexander said it had to be done. He is saving my life. I don't have the luxury of argument.
It is not working. Something must be wrong with the machinery. 2 levers on the top floor are not working. It is probably some problem with the machinery. Oh, goody. It won't budge. Tinderbox. Headset crapped out as it is wont to do. There. Two more tinderboxes.
Agrippa, I need you to stay awake. Can you feel the syringe?
No, I can't feel anything. Alexander?
Yes.
Soon, I won't even be able to move, will I?
Your life is safe.
I don't doubt that. But will it be worth living?
Laboratory.
Next to me. Pull the switch. Thank you. You have my gratitude. My name is Agrippa. Who might you be? Daniel? Like the prophet thrown into the lion's den? Tell me, are you among the lions, Daniel? You want to stop Alexander? Oh my, so Babylon shall fall, you say? You worry too much. Alexander is toothless without an arm. He has one. That's not very promising at all. The sanctum is basically impenetrable, but guess why more? It could be breached by another, but Alexander broke his, my own, a long time ago. Really? Well, if you tell the truth, by all means, seek out the pieces of the broken arm and mend away. I believe he uses them for torture now. They practically leak matter, which is quite useful, I understand. There should be 6 of them. Look around the choir and the transept. You should be able to find them there.
An orb is needed to enter the inner sanctum. Its shattered pieces lie scattered in the torture rooms.
Daddy, I hate to bother you further, but if you're really going after Alexander, would you consider taking me with you? I know it sounds ridiculous. Look at me. But if you find anything concerning a man named Johann Weyer, would you please bring it to me? I believe he was working on a way to help me. A recipe for some sort of potion, a tonic, to free me from this husk of mine.
Agrippa, the dying man, seeks a note written by a man named Johann Weyer. Okay. Oil.
What lever? Oh, that one. So many of Alexander's things are breaking down. Look around. Maybe the other room. There are machine parts hidden all over this place. You'll find a way to fix it. Who, me? I'm Heinrich Cornelius Agrippa. I was once quite important, you know. Baron Alexander has sustained my soul in this dead husk for years. Who knows how many? Hundreds, I presume. Alexander is quite impressive in many ways, but he has grown impatient. Why me? I'm the next best thing.
Alexander really fighted none other than Johann Ryan. You never heard of Johann Ryan? My God, boy. He's probably the greatest man in history. And you don't know him? Or is it the world has forgotten him?
I got all the gears.
Why was my pupil? My pupil. Yes.
It cannot
Is
be
it so
opened
wrong?
from here. Cannot be opened from here. A heavy door is blocking the path.
Do whatever it takes.
I think the levers back upstairs are
How are
working
things
now. So.
coming? I found a Mithraeum once. One which had not been plundered. Do you know Mithraeum? I suppose it doesn't matter. It is an old faith, building temples out of caverns. The Dark Walls being the universe.
Progress, apparently.
Daniel, you have gone too far. I have to stop you. I can't let you proceed any further. I'm sorry, my friend.
Dad, good to see you. You got the doors open? Good going. I knew you could do it. Not many orbs are left. They sometimes consume themselves, or break, when used by an uninitiated. I was lucky. The orb I found spared my life and returned to where I found it.
Okay, that's the door to the transept. The noise is annoying. I agree. It had gone too far. The man was suffocating as he could no longer breathe properly between the lashes. Displeased, he started to look for the Damascus rose oil. Goody.
more am I supposed to withstand? Kill me already! Kill me!
This one. Prepare him.
Question me.
Got a tinderbox. Bottle of oil. Picked up string. A tough string made from hemp. Notes on torture. There are quite a few things to be said about torture. I had figured that the reaction I would get from the victims would be highly individual. Thankfully, this is not the case. The humans all have a very similar approach to dealing with physical pain and the terror of anticipation. I can't stress enough the importance of restraining the victims before proceeding. Even the most timid creature can break out in fits of violence where their strength exceeds their expected prowess. If proper care has been put into breaking the victim, this should not be a problem, but it will also hinder the effect I am after. The right steps to take are therefore to restrain while the victim is still dazed. Proceed by presenting the form of torture you are about to apply, and then to continue with the actual act. The point of presentation is to infuse terror. The human mind is extremely efficient, as it will trigger itself into greater fear simply by imagining it. While applying pain, make sure to avoid massive damage, as it will prove more efficient if the process can be sustained. Also apply the pain in doses, if possible with breaks to let the body settle. If you are whipping or cutting the victim, strike once, wait for the pain to subdue, then strike again. As long as the body suffers, it will continue to produce the vitae and saturate the blood with its properties. Only with careful performance will the victim yield maximum effect. If the victim doesn't behave as expected, it is likely that all will be for naught. Before this happens, feed them the amnesia drink and try again later. Is it you, my love, I miss the most, or is it perhaps myself? I know what I have become. I am not blind. I am a monster to them, a demonic sultan perched on a dark mountaintop. There is little I can do to redeem myself. The Black Eagle fears me, and after Napoleon's defeat, it is only a matter of time before they will demand my head on a platter. I must remove myself from this land. This time it must work. If I can't return home now, I shall perish. Yeah. Got a tinderbox. Picked up piece of orb. Its texture and color are constantly changing. Kidnapper sat on her knees with her hands tied behind her back. She felt her hands being lifted and her body followed. Her shoulders gave way to the weight of her own body and cracked loudly. The suspended woman cried hysterically as the men contemplated their next step. That was... whatever.
protect me! No, you brute!
The cradle is ready.
Good.
You're a man! How can you partake in this?
Is he all right?
He is one of the wicked. Don't pay his lies any attention.
I'm not a bad man! It was an accident!
He set a man on fire.
It wasn't my fault! Why won't anyone listen?
That's horrible.
Of course. We are dealing with monsters here.
Yay.
No, please! Do anything! Whatever you want! Anything! Do anything! I'm innocent!
Another tinderbox. Second orb piece. The arsonist kept crying as he was slowly lowered on and off the impaler. It didn't take much to break him. They had meant for him to die, but the torture was working beyond their expectations. It wasn't the method, it was the arsonist. He was different from the others. They could make him forget again. Well, that's just charming. Daniel, quit being drunk. Got a tinderbox. Got a third piece of the orb. The rapist hanged upside down, his tears soiled with blood flooding from his belly. The saw between his legs had lodged itself in the hip and wouldn't move any further. The men stepped back and waited for the victim to drain. Yikes. The grate covers a drainage pipe. The blood needs a vessel. The blood cannot be reached. Find a way to lower the vessel to collect the blood. Find something to help lower the glass jar into the blood in the transept torture room. That's probably what the string is for, right? Glass jar on a string. Glass jar of blood. It is filled with blood. Nice. Well, that's it for the transept, I think. Back to the nave. Carefully cutting the man open made him think, this is how Father must feel about his craft. Being an artisan, relying on one's skill to perform something so delicate, grants a certain form of pride.
Daniel, good to see you. You seem to have found all the orb pieces used in the transfer. Go to the choir and find the rest.
The remaining orb pieces can be found in the choir. Laudanum. A tinderbox. Another tinderbox. And a note. Agrippa channels Wire. Wire taunts me from the other side. I trusted him with my true reason for my efforts, and still he insists on me releasing Agrippa. How an enlightened man can show such lack of compassion in a seat of power disgusts me. I can't bring myself to part from Agrippa, as he is and has been for centuries my only link to the worlds beyond. Wire claims he tries his best to release me from my banishment, but that he needs me to give him Agrippa first, so he too can help. If he could guarantee success, I would happily oblige, but how am I to part from him if my return might be denied? I know what they are capable of, I have seen their deception. Optimism is a most hopeless feeling, but I must retain it. I shall prepare for his release. To release Agrippa without killing him, Wire told me to feed him a tonic made from a paralyzer, vitae, and tempter. The poisonous fungi should work as a paralyzer if I can find the internal gland from a large specimen. The choir seems to be a fertile grounds for this sort. I should then be able to extract its contents with the proper tools. The vitae could be extracted as usual from any agonized human victim's blood. I just need large amounts to distill it properly. Remember to collect this during the next torture session. Tempter, on the other hand, will prove more difficult. I don't think it exists in this world. Simply writing the word with these letters looks wrong. I believe it's a property of the secretion in the water-delling kernk. I will have to address Wire with this, as he will have to supply me with a host. Also, a properly prepared well should suffice to contain it. Interesting. One note speaks of a mixture made with 3 ingredients. In court, the Order of the Black Eagles spew their politics at each other while I sit quietly in place, willfully forgotten. Once in a while, someone will notice me and lose themselves in a silent cower before regaining their senses. They all know I am the one and the same Alexander who helped their fathers and grandfathers to found this great order. I've seen them take their fathers' places, and they too will grow old and pass away, while I remain the same, aged not by time, but by anguish. Wire. The thick liquid spread across his tongue. He swallowed excessively to consume every drop. He looked through the window at the widespread forest and the morning sun. Will this ever end? He thought. Tinderboxes. After the men had secured the prisoner, the ritual began.
15th of August, 1839. The blood wards are failing. The shadow beckons, and its cry disarms my actions. Hurry. No time to spare. You have to kill another. Alexander produces a knife. He wants me to cut the flesh. Do it. Save yourself. He is a murderer, Daniel. He is evil. A cold-blooded killer. Hurry. Alexander, you must let me be. I have to concentrate. Take the man, cut the lines, cut the flesh, watch the blood spill, let it come. Please, I didn't do anything. Take the man, cut the lines, take the man, cut the lines. Please, the man cries. Now you see.
Damn.
I did well. One life for another. You hear me, guardian of the orb? I did all this for you. Now, once more, withdraw your shadow from my domain. Alexander, there isn't much time. I can feel it. We must act swiftly. I will do whatever it takes.
Goody. All right. Something died inside of him that day. Watching that man slip away was more than his mind was willing to handle. Oh, I remember this. This is a pain in the ass.
What are my intentions, Daniel? Salvation. It used to be yours, but now you only seek misplaced revenge. How do you justify your violence? Is it for the greater good? Are you doing the world a service? It is you who caused all this pain and death. If you had accepted your fate and submitted to the orb when you first discovered it, none of this would have happened. It is curiosity in league with your selfishness that is killing us both.
Tinderbox. There's more peace. don't believe we want to cross that bridge yet. Tinderbox. That'd be handy. Sorry, a few emails. So it goes. All right.
The wheel is good for keeping your victim still during the procedure. They can be bound around the circumference or simply stretched across, tying limbs to the spokes and rim. All tools are by this point useful, and you may administer the torture in any way you like. But the forte of the wheel is the gaps. When you have decided that the victim shall die, you can smash their limbs with a hammer, making them fold in between the frame.
But they'll die. Too quickly, I mean.
No, don't worry. The human body is much more resilient. They can survive for days until they finally succumb.
The murderer's limbs were tied to the spokes of the wheel. They turned the wheel slowly but with intent, so the rope secured around his legs stretched and cracked the bone. He no longer had the strength to scream. The two men looked at each other knowingly and took a hammer and struck the victim's chest in a final act of mercy. This game is so happy and cheerful. Yeah, no kidding. tissue is quite soft and should be possible to break open. Picked up poison gland. Cool. There's an orb piece. The traitor did not know what to think of the brass bowl as he was forced to enter it. Only when the heat of fire began to scorch his skin and cook his flesh did he realize it was to be his tomb. His screams of pain echoed inside the brass chamber and traveled through the complex instrument which was the bull's head. Outside, the men could hear the brazen bull bellow. Don't see me. Such filth, he thought. Good men can safely cheer their departure as they are nothing but a burden to mankind. They shall not be missed.
She deserved it, that little bitch.
The fear had begun to drown him again. He reached once more for the empty bottle of laudanum. In frustration, he smashed it against the bedpost.
You again. Incredible. You found Vire's recipe. Then there might still be a chance. Listen carefully. Alexander is working on opening a gate, a door to another world. It's where he wants to go. If you could put your anger aside, let him open the portal before you take your revenge. Let me pass the gate, Daniel. Please, find the ingredients and prepare the tonic Vire describes. And do so before you assemble the orb. The barrier keeping you from the inner sanctum will only be breached for a short time. Unless everything is taken care of before mending the orb, you won't be able to save me.
Agrippa, the dying man, wants a specific tonic made to save him. Empty room. Great. Chancel. I don't want to do that yet. A tinderbox. Just another empty room. Tinderbox. Daniel's drunk again.
I know this. I've been here already. I know this taste. A taste of Damascus rose obfuscating the truth in a dim haze. They may sweep the traces from my memory, but my body remembers. These cuts speak volumes, even though my mind remains silent. They will be back. They will be back.
Another empty room. Picked up meat.
You have all the orb pieces you need. I know I have no right to ask any.
Marcos, thank you for the follow, my friend. I appreciate it. So there's a water monster in this well. Put the meat on the rope. Something is pulling the rope. So now we've got the water monster spit, the third ingredient. Picked picked up remains. The bone is covered in mucus. Alright, so we've got all of the tonic ingredients, and we've got all of the orb pieces.
I see that all the orb pieces you need. I know I have no...
Ready to head into the chancel now. Oh yes, I remember this. This is where we get ganked. Sleep. Hazel spent all summer in bed. He used to read to her after helping father with his work. In his mind, he was like Scheherazade, and as long as he kept telling the story, she would not die.
You had me worried. Quite frankly, I'm not sure what to do with you. I hold no grudge against you, Daniel. We are so very much the same, you and I. Did you really drink from the amnesia mixture? It does explain so much of your behavior. You never did finish what you set out to do. You talked about redemption, how you would face the orb's shadow and save our work, and me. I will grant you another chance to redeem yourself. You can wait here and stop the shadow. Thank you, friend.
Interesting. So we got to keep all of our stuff. A wound is bleeding quite badly. Got an oil bottle. Picked up iron bar. Not loose enough, no need to waste more time on it. There we go. Last prisoner note. There is little left to say. I write solely to prevent myself from revisiting the memories of these last few days. If I am fortunate, I will fall asleep and time will pass without effort. I have begun to wean myself of my prison. When I first arrived, I felt like I was being buried inside a tomb, but now I feel the close walls comforting me. As long as I am in here, there is no pain. The walls protect me from the outside. I even laughed earlier as one of my wardens dropped a key down the pipes. It gave me hope for a second, thinking I could escape if only I could somehow reach it from here. In my dreams, Alexander, I am king. In my dreams, I best you and escape your clutches, and return with all the knights of the realm carrying pistols and sabers. In my dreams. Oh, goody. Tinder boxes. Laudanum, a tinder box, and a wooden bucket. It's locked. Find a key to open the door leading out of the area. A bucket of water. There's a key in the pipe, but it can't be reached. Picked up a rusty key. Had given up from exhaustion and decided to have her committed for permanent treatment at Canterbury Hospice, but she was still alive. She had embraced him and wished him a grand adventure in Algeria. Alexander became silent. He didn't know what to say. He could no longer recognize his friend sitting across the carriage.
18th of August, 1839. Tonight, we will unlock the power of the orb and ultimately banish the shadow hunting me. I feel it closing in on me, and I fear for my life more than ever. Just outside Altstadt lies a small settlement where Zimmerman, a dairy farmer, lives with his wife and 3 children.
Oh yes, the flashback sequence. Yeah, we're gonna finish this. We're close to the end already, actually.
Took the coach, went there. Our visit was unexpected, and Alexander was able to strike Zimmerman down without alerting the others. As he went to take care of the farmhands, I began to look for the children. We should have more than enough prisoners to finish the ritual now.
The crying had stopped, and he could hear a whisper coming from the cell. They were up to something, and he would have to punish them. Yay. Back down. Don't touch the red shit. If you can help it. Hey, the laboratory's open. Incomplete tonic. Tonic is not yet done according to Wire's instructions. Up incomplete tonic. There. It's like, why won't it freaking work? Picked up Wire's tonic.
Daniel, I thought I'd lost you. The castle trembled and I could hear the chancel collapse. The laboratory might be accessible now. You did it. Thank goodness. Now, pay attention. First, feed me the tonic, and then use the saw to remove my head. As the tonic begins to work, you'll be able to cut off my head without taking my life. Then, take my head and bring it with you as you enter the gate Alexander is opening in the inner sanctum. What do you mean? Why wouldn't you enter the gate? We can't argue now. You need to act.
So use the tonic.
Quickly, off with the head.
Agrippa wants to have his head sawn off.
And then, whatever happens, get me through that gate.
Bone saw. Won't budge.
Fire was a brave man, and dared to proceed where I did not. He unearthed a number of cavern temples, and gathered a whole collection.
Picked up Agrippa's head. Time to head to the chancel again. All is good. The severed head of Agrippa. Headset again. Into the chancel. He had turned angry. It was easy to take her insolence and make her the villain in this story, but she didn't deserve to die. Even he could see that. part. I hate it. It's coming right at me, isn't it? Oh, shit. Alexander saw that the evening had taken a toll on his friend's mind and barred him from the inner sanctum. He could no longer be trusted to be a part of the ritual. That was kind of annoying. If it wasn't for Alexander, he would still be innocent and able to die so. It'd be really great if he was despawned now. Looks like he is. Okay, good. Bucket of tar.
10th of August, 1839. I cannot believe what I have become. One of the girls escaped and I chased after her all the way upstairs. I hunted her down and... what is her life worth? How many lives can I take before I surrender my own? Sure, I would kill a murderer to save an innocent, but to kill an innocent to save myself? A cold-blooded murderer.
Well. Large enough to jam the cogwheels. Need a bigger rock. right. Inner sanctum. The sight of her lifeless body crippled his psyche. He tried to remove himself from the scene, but he could not. Instead, he fell to his knees and begged her for forgiveness. All right.
August 1839.
It's not fair. I'm not to blame. I've been manipulated by that demon. He played my guilty conscience and duped me into facing the shadow alone. That vile, conspiring man. He expects me to meet my death as he steals power beyond imagination. Alexander, I will kill you for what you have done. If only the shadow had caught me in London or Algeria, I wouldn't have to suffer this humiliation. You made me a murderer. A monster.
And now, I merely await my death. I am too weak to press on. I can hardly stand as my knees fail me. I cannot see as my eyes are dressed in tears. I am as broken as the men I've tortured. If only I could wipe my fear away, as we did with them.
Interesting. Confused. Do I need to relight these or something? Cried and struggled as he pulled at her arm. Her flowered Sunday dress ripped and she fell into the mud. Ah, the ending.
I was wondering if you were going to show up. I see Agrippa convinced you to run some errands. Tell me, is everything nice and clear now? Am I the villain?
You can get 3 endings. You can just let Alexander go. You can just kill him, or you can do what Agrippa asked. Agrippa's the good ending, so that's what we're going to do.
And evil. Such comforting concepts, but hardly applicable. Are you so blind that you see no good in me, or evil in Agrippa?
Come on, come on, come on. There we go.
There he is. Do you see him, Vaya? He deserves so much more. Please, help him. I know you can. Don't worry, Daniel. It will be all right.
And there it is. That was Amnesia, The Dark Descent. So, that was a fun little weekend diversion. I'd like to thank everybody who joined me, both for part 1 yesterday and part 2 today. If you're watching live on Twitch, thanks for being here. If you're new and you enjoy what you saw, I hope you'll hit the follow button so you can see next time we go live, which is going to be tomorrow morning. I'll be playing Fallout New Vegas. If you're watching later on YouTube and you enjoyed the videos, I hope you'll like the videos and subscribe to the channel. My streaming hours are a little bit unpredictable, but all of my content makes its way to YouTube in a timely fashion. And finally, regardless of the platform you're on, I hope you'll join our Discord. The link to do so is either in the Twitch channel description or the YouTube video description. We talk about games you'd like to see me play, I make official announcements, and we discuss a whole lot of other things too. Food and alcohol and things like that. So, thank you all for joining me. I hope the rest of your Sunday goes well, and I will see you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time for some Fallout New Vegas. Until then, take care.